Sherman D. Manning, you all will have to forgive all of this Spanish in the background. Um, I know it is perhaps nerve wracking, but I'm getting a lot of emails and folk asking me to continue my rambling monologues. I'm glad to know that a lot of you all are listening and that you like it. I'm literally sitting at the DMV right now trying to get a way of identifying myself so that I can eliminate some of the other problems I'm having regarding accessing my accounts, etc. And so, this is the Walking and Talking podcast. And if you're wondering why Kardashian's name is coming up, if you read my book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice, which is available in local bookstores as well as available on Amazon.com, you will discover some secrets concerning the Kardashian family, most especially the late Robert Kardashian. Some secrets that have never been told, that have never been discussed, that no one has ever written about except me. And I'm not going to give it away over the air. I'm not going to give it away over the podcast. I will tell you that this fast talking Spanish in my ear is quite frankly nerve wracking. Just I'm sorry, you guys know me by now. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and if anyone wants to be offended by me saying that, then be offended. It's nerve wracking, but life goes on, and I know that we are living in a multicultural society, and people have the right to speak whatever they want to speak. The difference is, unlike some, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to approach or address the guy or disrespect the guy at all. And I don't want him to go back to Mexico simply because he's speaking Spanish. Guys like Donald and Cruz and even Rubio, that's what they want. They want these guys to pack up and go back to Mexico. I was talking with someone earlier who was talking about a Back to Africa movement. They were saying that if Donald were to get elected, this is what he would try to do: send black folks back to Africa. Donald said that black people have a lazy gene. He's sort of been very vague and ambiguous when asked about that statement, but that's a statement that he's on the record as having made. So he doesn't like Mexicans. He thinks they're all criminals and rapists. He doesn't like blacks. He thinks that blacks all have a lazy gene. Who does he like except his own kids? And unfortunately, it seems that he likes them too much because, as I've indicated, he molested Barron. That's a fact, on the record. And we know he raped his ex-wife. That's a fact also. And we live in a society where the rich get richer and the poor get prison. Listen, check out www.napsusa.org. That's N as in needle, A as in apple, P as in Paul, S as in Sherman, USA.org, and see what you think. Also, text your friends and tell them to download this podcast and to subscribe, to like it, to follow us. Like us on Facebook also. And friend me, if you will, so that you can receive all of our alerts about the things that we're doing. Because as you know, I'm going to be giving seminars and lectures at different places on criminal justice, criminology, giving motivational speeches, etc. And that is a great, great, great thing that God has put on my spirit to do. Listen, do me a favor. You all pray for me. Ask God to order my steps. Ask Him to give me the strength and the wherewithal to follow the orders that He gives me. You pray for me. I believe in prayer. The Bible says that the prayers of the righteous man availeth much, and effectual and fervent prayer of the righteous man availeth much. So pray for me. Ask God to lead me, to protect me, to guide me, to get me to Ephrath. And you'll have to read the book of Genesis and read the story of Jacob to understand what Ephrath is. But I'm not going to give it away over the podcast. Study it. And remember, please, talk to your friends in your neighborhood, talk to your buddies, talk to your frat brothers, talk to your sorority sisters, talk to just the women in your community or the men in your community, and let's get together and start having some house parties. And when we have these house parties, let's bring a book, read it out loud, take turns reading it, and then discuss it. Just that simple. Call it a Gangbangers for God house party. Okay? Let's do that. Bring Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough. Bring The Truth About O.J. Simpson by Sherman D. Manning. Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Bring Creating Monsters by me. Bring Don't Mess with Texas by Sherman D. Manning. Bring The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Bring Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. Bring these books and let's study them methodically. Let's watch and read books like we watch football. Let's watch and read books like we watch basketball. Let's get together for 2 hours on Saturday, wherever we are, in little groups, and chop it up, as they would say. But talk about these books, analyze them, and see what we can do to um, make ourselves better and to make our communities better. And remember, literacy is very important. Literacy is very, very important. We've got to start focusing on literacy. We got to get people back to reading, get people back to writing. Education is an inoculation against incarceration. Tweet that. Education is inoculation against incarceration. If you want to make sure you never see the inside of a jail cell, get an education. If you want to make sure your kid never sees the inside of a prison cell, get them an education. Education is urgent. Education is important. It is really important. I want to thank Monty Henry and DPO Services for sponsoring this podcast. Listen, I am Sherman D. Manning, author of The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. And this book, for everything I'm reading, this book is a read that you should read. It is a journey that you should take. Yep, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Get it at local bookstores. Get it on Amazon.com. Listen. I'll talk to you later. Keep hope alive. If you see Donald, leave his last name off. If you see Donald,